haters talking about.
What's up, family? Boy, this is a hell of a roller coaster ride here. One that will rival the best roller coaster at the best theme park you could think of. A legal letter has been obtained, signed by R. Kelly, whereas he threatens a rape accuser, stating that he will have 10 men testify about her sex life, share text, and detail her STD history at trial. In the letter, R. Kelly threatens Faith Rogers, who filed a suit against him, claiming he raped her and gave her herpes. Rogers had given details of the letter back in January, but it was not filed in court until last week. R. Kelly writes that 10 personal male witnesses will testify under oath about her sex life in support of her claim. R. Kelly says his law team is prepared to request the production of the medical test results proving the origin of the STD claim. He also states, if Miss Rogers really cares about her own reputation, she should cease her participation. R. Kelly is due to appear in court on March 19 for a preliminary hearing in the case, with Rogers alleging he raped and held her captive. Man. That letter, let's get right to it. The letter sounds to me to be a typical sex crime defense. Typical cease and desist. However, it does kind of come close to intimidating a witness. So you got to be careful with that type of stuff. Now, I read the letter. It really doesn't appear to have been written by a lawyer. You know, I'm looking at the letter and I see improper wording. I see that certain terms are not legal arguments. I see that they are inaccurate. And the language is not recognized legal terms. And it wasn't signed by an attorney, which is very, very odd. And it tells me that it wasn't signed by an attorney because no real attorney would put something like that out. So I don't know who he got to write that letter, but that letter doesn't seem to be written or crafted by an attorney, not a real attorney. And here's another thing. Some people say, well, why bring up a history? Well, if someone is accusing you of a particular crime, let's say a sex crime in this case, then you want to bring up their sexual history. If they had a history of being promiscuous, having multiple sex partners and stuff, you know, you gotta, if you're on trial defending yourself, you gotta kind of try to, you know, use whatever is at your disposal to try to get yourself off. I mean, that's kind of how it works. Right or wrong, that's how it works. Those lawyers, the defendant is going to use whatever defense they can to get them off. And if it is true that she had multiple sex partners, even though that should have nothing to do with her case, what happens is that people who are going to be sitting on that jury may decide, well, maybe she was asking for it. Maybe she's lying. You know, maybe she shouldn't have did this or that. What they're trying to do is just create doubt in the minds of potential jurors. That's what they're trying to do. So I can see where they're coming from with that, but I was just surprised that that type of language was actually included in the letter. Typically, you want to let whoever know that there's a potential for a lawsuit, or you give them an idea of what your defense might be. but you're very vague. You let them basically know, be prepared for a war. Get ready for a fight, because we're not letting this slide. You want to let them know you got a fight on your hands, but you want to be vague. You don't want to show your hand. You don't want to show your cards, right? So I was surprised that they were so detailed in what type of actions that they might take against the woman. If that makes any sense. I don't know. I wouldn't have done it. And I wouldn't suggest that anybody else do something like that. You never want your enemies to know what your plan is. You don't want to give your enemies details, the details of your plan. Then they can just set up the defense to attack and thwart whatever efforts that you're projecting out there, So, hey, I just can't get over that letter, though. I was very, very surprised when I read that letter. Very, very surprised that he went into detail about what his defense might be and what his claims are going to be. I was very surprised that he went in like that. And I just got one thing to say to R. Kelly, man. Where is your lawyer? This letter, before that, you got the situation with the Gayle King interview, other statements made, man. Where is your lawyer, bro? Where is your lawyer? No more talk.
What them haters talking about?
Damn.